IUPAC definition. Flocculation. When a sol is colloidally unstable, then the formation of aggregates is called flocculation or coagulation. Agglomeration. Coagulation, flocculation, process of contact and adhesion whereby dispersed molecules or particles are held together by weak physical interactions, ultimately leading to phase separation by the formation of precipitates of larger than colloidal size. Note 1. In contrast to aggregation, agglomeration is a reversible process. Note 2. The definition proposed here is recommended for distinguishing agglomeration from aggregation. Note 3. Quotation from Ref. Flocculation, in the field of chemistry, is a process wherein colloids come out of suspension in the form of FLOC or flake, either spontaneously or due to the addition of a clarifying agent. The action differs from precipitation in that, prior to flocculation, colloids are merely suspended in a liquid and not actually dissolved in a solution. In the flocculated system, there is no formation of a cake since all the flocks are in the suspension. Coagulation and flocculation are important processes in water treatment, with coagulation to destabilize particles through chemical reaction between coagulant and colloids, and flocculation to transport the destabilized particles that will cause collisions with FLOC. Term definition. According to the IUPAC definition, flocculation is a process of contact and adhesion whereby the particles of a dispersion form larger size clusters. Flocculation is synonymous with agglomeration and coagulation, coalescence. Basically, coagulation is a process of addition coagulant to destabilize a stabilized charged particle. Meanwhile, flocculation is a mixing technique that promotes agglomeration and makes particles settling down. The most common used coagulant is alum, Al2314H2O. The chemical reaction involved Al2314H2O to Al3 plus 6H plus 3SO42 plus 8H2O. During flocculation, gentle mixing accelerates the rate of particle collision, and the destabilized particles are further aggregated and enmeshed into larger precipitates. Flocculation is affected by several parameters, including mixing speeds, mixing intensity, and mixing time. The product of the mixing intensity and mixing time is used to describe flocculation processes. Applications: surface chemistry and colloid chemistry. Flocculation refers to the process by which fine particulates are caused to clump together into a FLOC. The FLOC may then float to the top of the liquid, settle to the bottom of the liquid, or be readily filtered from the liquid. Flocculation behavior of soil colloids is closely related to freshwater quality. High dispersibility of soil colloids not only directly causes turbidity of the surrounding water, but it also induces eutrophication due to the adsorption of nutritional substances in rivers and lakes. Physical chemistry for emulsions. Flocculation describes clustering of individual dispersed droplets together, whereby the individual droplets do not lose their identity. Flocculation is thus the initial step leading to further aging of the emulsion. Flocculation is used in mineral dressing, civil engineering, earth sciences, in civil engineering, and in the earth sciences. Flocculation is a condition in which clays, polymers or other small charged particles become attached and form a fragile structure, or FLOC. In dispersed clay slurries, flocculation occurs after mechanical agitation ceases and the dispersed clay platelets spontaneously form flocks because of attractions between negative face charges and positive edge charges. Biology. Flocculation is used in biotechnology applications in conjunction with microfiltration to improve the efficiency of biological feeds. The addition of synthetic flocculants to the bioreactor can increase the average particle size, making microfiltration more efficient. When flocculants are not added, cakes form and accumulate, causing low cell viability. Positively charged flocculants work better than negatively charged ones since the cells are generally negatively charged. Cheese industry flocculation is widely employed to measure the progress of curd formation in the initial stages of cheese making to determine how long the curds must set. The reaction involving the rennet micelles are modeled by Smolachowski kinetics. Flocculation is also used during cheese wastewater treatment. 3 different coagulants are mainly used: Fesa-4-sulfate, Al-23, FeCl3 chloride. Brewing. In the brewing industry, flocculation has a different meaning. It is a very important process in fermentation during the production of beer where cells form macroscopic flocks. These flocks cause the yeast to sediment at the end of the fermentation. Subsequently, the yeast can be collected from the bottom or the top of the fermenter in order to be used for the next fermentation. It is not to be confused with sedimentation in colloidal dispersions, as the mechanisms are different even though they appear to be pretty similar. Water treatment process. Flocculation and sedimentation are widely employed in the purification of drinking water as well as in sewage treatment, storm water treatment, and treatment of industrial wastewater streams. Typical treatment processes consist of grades: coagulation, flocculation, sedimentation, granular filtration, and disinfection. Jar test. The purpose of this test is to select types of coagulant and also to estimate the optimal dose needed in removing the charged particles that occurred in raw water. Jar test is an experiment to understand the processes of coagulation, flocculation, and sedimentation. Jar test apparatus consists of 6 batch beakers, and equipped with a paddle mixer for each beaker. In a standard practice, jar test involving of rapid mixing, then followed by slow mixing and later with sedimentation process. Deflocculation. Deflocculation is the exact opposite of flocculation, usually in higher pH ranges. In addition to low ionic strengths of soil solutions and domination of alkali metal cations, the soil colloidal particles can be dispersed. The additive that prevents the colloids from forming flocks is called the deflocculant. According to the Encyclopedic Dictionary of Polymers, deflocculation is a state or condition of a dispersion of a solid in a liquid in which each solid particle remains independent and unassociated with adjacent particles. A deflocculated suspension shows 0 or very low yield value. Deflocculation can be a problem in wastewater treatment plants as it commonly causes sludge settling problems and deterioration of the effluent quality.